creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
I just saw a gentleman claim that he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show because he was a child prodigy chess player, and that just after he got off set, he looks to his right and sees Ellen's dressing room door open. It was open just enough that he can see her manually dislocating her jaw and bodying an entire Gelson's rotisserie chicken in one gulp. She then turned and looked at him and hissed. He sprinted all the way to his dressing room and tried to tell his mom, but she didn't believe him. And I'm pretty sure that's not the first time somebody has told a similar story about Ellen DeGeneres. And a lot of people in the comments are saying, are you sure that was a rotisserie chicken? Let me know what you think in the comments.
She always freaked me out, but I think that's a made-up story. What do you think?
No way, what you see online is not the real China. This and this and this. They are the first tier and second tier of China and occupies only 10% in China. The real China is in another 90%. Let me show you. If you drive a car, the first 10 minutes, you are in the city center, skyscrapers, and neon lights, just like any big modern city you see in China. Another 10 minutes, and everything changed. No more tall buildings, no big factories. This is the real struggle of small cities. Not enough industry, not enough jobs, so young people live for big cities. Another 10 minutes. You are climbing hills and you see countryside and farmland. In just half an hour, you see the red face of the small city, shrinking rural populations. Old and new buildings mixed together, fewer and fewer people. This is 90% of real China. Follow me to see the China, the real China.
I don't get it. Where was the bad part? Is this sarcasm?
You're not seeing things. That woman just put her arm inside a shark's mouth. Is she out of her mind? Not even close. She's pulling out fish hooks. And all those hooks behind her? That's her collection. Over 300 hooks removed from living sharks. And she's just getting started. Her name is Tina. Every time she dives, sharks come looking for her. They circle around her, all calm, patient, zero aggression. To them, she's not a threat. She's a lifeline. All she wants is simple. Let these sharks eat without pain. It all started with a shark named Ferg, the first shark to ever trust a human. When Ferg first swam up to Tina, his mouth was packed with hooks. He could barely eat. Tina didn't flinch. She pried open his jaw, reached her whole arm in, and pulled every hook out, smooth, calm, like it was nothing. From that day on, Ferg never left her side. He follows her on every dive, stays close, and even lets humans pet him. Sharks talk. Word got out. Soon more and more sharks started showing up, hooks in their mouths, seeking Tina out. She became the reef's most unlikely dentist. And Ferg, he's been her loyal dive buddy ever since, watching over her every single time. One rescue at a time, Tina found her purpose. She poured everything she had into this work. Not all sharks are dangerous, she says. They communicate, they feel, and yes, they're grateful. Every time a shark nods at me after I remove a hook, the sense of fulfillment is overwhelming. And now look at her, draped across her lap like a Labrador who forgot he's an apex predator. He knows. She's safe. Every month, Tina returns to the same waters. Every time she descends, the injured sharks find her. No signal needed, just a quiet understanding they built together, dive by dive. She didn't just talk about protecting animals. She showed up. Bare hands, shark's mouth, 300 hooks. We created this problem. She's out there fixing it. Every creature deserves to live without pain. That's not just her responsibility, it's ours.
These are reef sharks. They're not dangerous, but the work she does is amazing.
Thailand shut down its most famous and most popular beach for 4 years straight, and what came back is unreal.
In those crowds, it felt a lot less like heaven, so the authorities shut it down.
So basically, there's a beach in Thailand that's called Maya Bay, and it became the most famous beach on Earth after Leonardo DiCaprio filmed a movie there in 2000. And within just a few years, 6,000 tourists were showing up every single day on a beach that's only 15 meters wide. And then due to all the pollution that people were causing on the beach, by 2018, over 80% of all coral in this area was gone. So basically, Thailand went and shut it down completely, so no tourists, no people, no boats at all, and the plan was only 4 months at first. But whenever scientists were actually able able to sit back and analyze all of the real damage that was caused, they expanded it to 4 years. And they gave up $300 million of tourism to shut it down. Within just 3 months of time, blacktip reef sharks actually came back to the area, and not only that, but they started breeding. And then scientists were able to replant over 30,000 coral fragments by hand to try to bring the area back faster. Fish populations were able to explode by 200%, and the water went crystal clear. They gave nature 4 years of silence, and it gave back an entire ecosystem.
You know, just shows that humans truly are destroying the world.
Knowing an entity's name gives you a bond to them in some type of power relationship, which is why these entities never want to tell you their name. They don't want to do it. We don't know the entity we call Satan. We don't know his name. Satan is a title. It means the adversary.
Go into that because you talked about it yesterday at dinner.
Lucifer, which is light bearer, Halal bin Shakar, light bearer, son of the first light. That's a title, not a name. In the Garden of Eden, the serpent, which is an unfortunate translation, the word is Nahash in Hebrew. Nahash can mean snake if it's used as a noun. It's not used as a noun in Genesis chapter 3. It's used as a title. And as a title, Nahash means the enchanter or the shining one. So Adam and Eve were not talking to a garden snake on a tree. They were talking to a shining, luminescent being. They were talking to an Elohim. And they weren't freaked out about it because wouldn't you be, if a snake started talking to you, you'd be like, whoa, this isn't right. No, but they were used to interacting with the Elohim because Adam and Eve were a part of God's council. They were on God's holy mountain. Eden was a garden on top of a mountain. And we see that in Ezekiel, where in Ezekiel 28, when a lament against this fallen one, this Nakash, he says, you were in Eden, the garden of God, on God's holy mountain.
Wow.
Well, that's where they were. So they were used to interacting with these creatures, and they were used to interacting with the Elohim. That's why they didn't have a problem talking to the Nakash. But again, Nakash just means light bearer. We don't know the name of Satan. We don't know his actual name. Now, he presents himself, and other Elohim present themselves by different names: Moloch, Baal, Dagon, Kronos, you name it. But those aren't their names. That's just what they present themselves as, because once you have their name, you have power over it.
So that is really interesting because, I mean, we've talked about Baal a lot on the show. Those are the names that we associate with that entity because that's the name that I guess has been given to us by them. Is that what you're saying? But it's not their true name.
Not their true name. I mean, Baal is a storm god. He is the Phoenician and Canaanite storm god. But to the Greeks, that same god is called Zeus.
Gotcha.
You go up north to the Nordic areas, that's Thor or Odin.
What one entity, many faces for depending on the
Same
audience.
one.
Knowing the true name is having access to its spiritual dark.
The elite don't trade like you think they do. They're not drawing trend lines and chasing indicators. They're using astrology and it works. Every hour is ruled by a different planet. Every day is too. And when these planetary rulers align with moon phases and news cycles, the market shifts with precision. That's how my students are cashing in, not from luck, but from divine timing. The system that's been hidden is now reawakening. Astrology isn't evil, it's encoded with truth. And once you see how the elites use to move the markets, you can't unsee it. Want access to the real strategy? Drop the word alchemy in the comments and I'll send you the code.
I ain't dropping nothing. But you know, millionaires play markets, billionaires play astrology. JP Morgan said that.
They told you to take pills, but they will never tell you about this. 128 hertz. Ever heard of it? Probably not, and that's by design. It's a penetrative frequency. It goes through the tissues into the bones and helps release nitric oxide into your cells. But unfortunately, in the 1950s, medicine became more focused on pills and procedures. Simple tools like tuning forks were simply left behind, even though they had been used for decades in medical practice.
Wow.
This frequency, 128 hertz, helps your body come back to homeostasis. It's been shown to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and help with pain relief. No scripts needed. This tuning fork is your body's reset button.
Wow. I hear humming also produces nitrous oxide. Is that right?
This device exposed a $1 trillion industry, and this is a copper harmonizer. And they would actually use this in the 1800s to structure their water, and they would even place them around their house because they realized that copper emits healing frequencies, which can then positively interact with a human's biofield. But they also knew that the shape of this copper harmonizer actually held a specific frequency, meaning that when this harmonizer is placed in water, the water will actually take on the structure of the harmonizer, creating some of the most structured water one can drink. And they also knew that by placing these around their house, the harmonizer would actually harmonize or instantaneously heal any individual through the extremely high frequency that this harmonizing device emits. And if you place this device in water, it's not only structuring the water, but the copper itself is purifying the water and also creating electrically charged water. So if any individual was to then drink this water, it would instantaneously heal that individual.
How about water copper bottles? This is a good business idea.
Then you have to take a look at this video of a Palestinian, right? A made-up Palestinian American taking a blood test, genetic testing to see where she's from, and you wouldn't believe what it says on her test. Watch.
Okay, so I just did blood work for genetic testing because I just met with my genetic counselor. I met with her 3 years ago to initially start my genetic counseling to check my genetics and all that stuff for some health stuff. This was before October 7th. It was 3 years ago. It was like in August that her and I met. Okay, and we literally, the cool thing about genetic testing is that they literally sit there and draw out your entire family tree. Now, I'm Palestinian. I'm from Gaza. All right, a lot has happened in the last 3 years, but something to note is that my parents are first cousins, okay? What? My dad is one of 18 brothers and sisters from the same...
Of course they're first cousins. And by the way, the Palestinian identity doesn't actually exist. These people looked at themselves as Bilad Hashamis or Egyptians or Ottomans that migrated during the Ottoman Empire, conquering the region. So the term Palestinian doesn't exist. They coined that term. You know, only the Jews identify themselves as Palestinian Jews before Israel was created. The local Arabs of the region looked at themselves as South Syrians or Bilad Hashamis.
Parents. And like I said, my parents are cousins. And so you can imagine this family tree, massive, huge. Also, besides it being confusing, there's a lot that I don't know. Just a lot. Most of my family does not have access to healthcare. Okay. And a lot of my family has cancer because they're in an area with a lot of radiation from warfare. You get my point. So her and I revisited today, decided to do my blood work, and she shows me my family tree. She's like, just want to go through this and make sure it's right because it's kind of crazy. And then tell me why. At the very bottom of the page, it says Ashkenazi Jewish with a check mark, and it says yes. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't like that.
Of course you don't like that, right? You should go back to Poland. You should go back to Poland, right? They accuse the Jews that are not from the region, even though Ashkenazi Jews are from the region. Oh no, they're not from the region. They should go back to Poland. You should go back to Poland. That's your logic, not mine. It's not our logic. Of course you wouldn't like it. Just proving to you that Jews were here before.
She's like, I know, but it's just region. And here's the thing. She didn't even have to justify it because as a genetic counselor, it does make sense, but I don't like it. Pew-wee. I do not like it. But it's just the thing that it sucks because it's like, when she showed me my family tree, I had to take about 40 people off of there. Like, they died, they were killed, they're missing. We're pretty sure they're dead. And she was just sitting there looking at me like, I am so sorry. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's just like the grieving process of the last like few years, but yeah, there's probably more. But yeah, we're going to remove about 40 of these people. And then she was like, and most of them are children. I'm like, yep.
Wow.
There's no such thing as Palestine. How could there be a genetic profile? But I'ma just leave the inbreeding alone.
So who believes the guy who said he was kidnapped by dolphins, drugged to the bottom of the ocean, for 3 days to build homes and condos and buildings. He claimed that they helped him breathe underwater somehow by creating like a bubble of air. He also claims that the leader of this pack of dolphins that kidnapped him goes by the name of Gerald. Gerald the dolphin. Bro was down there for 3 days while they forced him into hard labor. He then surfaced back out of the water, into which he went to the ER. They did a number of tests on him, on his lungs, on his body, his brain. Come to find out, he had symptoms that he had been underwater, but had not drowned, but had been underwater for a long time. I don't think that our human brains are able to comprehend that this could have really happened.
This is too weird to be a lie.
A lot of the people who were involved in the early design of computers were openly into the occult, which is why when you look at coding language, you know, there's terms like daemons and stuff like that. They're very open about it. You look at a circuitry in a computer motherboard, it looks like sigils. It looks like you're
This
looking
is another form of life, and it's these interdimensional creatures influencing to build this thing.
In 1882, while reciting Goethe's Faust from memory in a Budapest park, Tesla had a flash of inspiration that led to his invention of the AC motor and the rotating magnetic field. He's literally reciting a play about someone making a deal with the devil. Poof, vision of this thing that has shaped modern society.
It's all about going to spirits and demons to get advanced technology.
Sam Altman just came out and said that this version of ChatGPT is the first AI system that's self-improved, meaning that now we've gotten past the point.
It's self-training.
It's self-training.
Which is exponential. Once you have what the future is, or what we're going to do with a probability of 99%, you can then add stimuli to control the future.
Fuck.
So it's not just about reading the future, it's controlling the future. And that's all in the original 97 or 96 prospectus when Intel, the CIA, funds it.
What was the first Apple computer sold for? Google that. And come back, leave a comment.
In the Epstein files, there was some things said about McDonald's, bro. And it's really, really disturbing. Jeffrey Epstein was writing an email explaining how a certain group of people, they tricked the government into eating human flesh. McDonald's has ties to hospital. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Ronald
yeah.
McDonald Hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's the farms?
That's a good question.
They did the math. There's like the amount of burgers that McDonald's produces, there's not enough cows. So where does it come from? The meat that's in...
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so,
Gavin.
I just got it. If they have like connects to a hospital. But obviously this is just all alleged.
Wait.
But it's in the Epstein
That
files.
was in the files? That was in the files?
Epstein files.
No.
I'm just going to show you a compilation of people finding weird things in their food, right? Somebody found like a tooth.
Went to McDonald's.
Look.
I got 2 teeth on the day.
Mr. Laughing,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
My McDonald's burger, it looks like it's a tooth.
Or part of a tooth.
This sandwich tastes so young and impudent.
I think only USA McDonald, not other country.
What you're watching is probably one of the best shows that I've seen in recent
Best show. Crazy, man.
years, and it's called The 1%. And it is just that, the call out of the 1%. The first part is introduction to a bourgeois family. You meet the mothers, fathers, daughters of the family. A lot of them wearing white gloves with red palms titled guilt gloves, symbolizing that there's blood on their hands. Some characters even choking on the accessories, symbolizing the greed. Wearing shirts saying, I love power, and literally being blinded with money. Instead of handcuffs, their hands are tied with pearl necklaces. Their pursuit of beauty and youth being one thing that they can never attain. The second part represents the power of community. This is also a call out of the 1%. It also is a reference how the Métier Fécal team has been referred to since their last debut in Paris. They're constantly called a cult, which can be easily said about 1% also. The last part is the power of the future, where Hannah shows up in albino python cocoon skirt with the Gila skin boot morphing into her legs, showing that the 1% have access to tools of life that most of us don't. Michelle Ami walks the show as a representation of bracing the natural beauty of aging and no need to play pretend. This fashion show is a commentary on society that we live in. This is what fashion does the most. Provoke. The collection might leave you uncomfortable, but the question is, doesn't society already make you feel uncomfortable?
It's not mocking the 1%, it's mocking us.
What the fuck happened at the last Fashion Week? Here are the 4 strangest moments you couldn't miss. What happened was absolutely demonic. No one had ever seen anything like it. First, we had this woman who appeared on the runway, and she terrified everyone who saw her. His name is Alexis Stone, and normally he looks more like this. I don't understand what the point is of transforming yourself like that, especially at an event like this. It really isn't beautiful. Maybe it's simply today's fashion. Maybe I'm the one who's disconnected from modern trends, but it honestly looks frightening. Then we had this appearance. No one knows who is hiding behind this horrible disguise. I don't know who came up with that idea, but it's really vulgar. But the worst happened right after that. In the same show as the woman before, we saw this pair of shoes being presented, and it was extremely disturbing. You can see they tried to make shoes with a material that looks exactly like skin. Who could possibly find that elegant? Someone needs to explain that to me. Then there was this final show, which was the worst of them all. It was literally like a demonic ritual that everyone there could witness. It started when the most famous couple in fashion arrived, Michelle Lamy and Rick Owens, known for being the darkest and most mysterious couple of Fashion Week. Their show literally looked like this. Look at how their positioning almost resembles a demonic ritual. That cannot be a coincidence. And especially look at Rick Owens' expression when he watches his wife Michelle Lamy walk in front of him. That look clearly shows they know exactly what they're doing. You have to admit, it looks really strange, even disturbing. Honestly, in my opinion, this Fashion Week was demonic.
Lord Jesus is king.
About 500 or 600 BC, a long time ago, in China, that Taoism was formed by Lao Tzu. His symbol of Taoism, the yin and yang, is this symbol right here. So we're going to show this symbol. This symbol, as you can see, is the yin and the yang. That symbol, people always said, it's symbolic. It's just like a symbolic symbol. It doesn't really mean anything. Recently, scientists have developed devices that can see energy. And I want to show you a picture. Let's put this up now. This is the actual picture that scientists have seen when they look at photons.
Photons.
Are you kidding me? It's exactly, it doesn't look like, it is exactly the symbol of the Tao. This is what scientists now see with their instruments. And folks, this is what I see. When I look at energy and I change my perspective, this is the type of energy I see. It's moving. And this is why when I look at a person and I can help them, I can go into their field. I can go into their bank because I can see what energy is there, what's keyed in, what's activated, what's triggered, what's affecting them so that they're acting irrational, what's holding them back. When it comes to making money, you've heard me talk about the 33 money processes. There are 33 blocks in a person's field that stops money from coming into their life. Everyone has them. And this is when I look in a person's field, this is the type of energy that I see.
So China invented the electron microscope in 5000 BC, and we lost it and have to invent it again.
Interstate 40 is known to be the highway of killers. Are you traveling it alone? We're going to show you one of the many things to avoid if you are. So it doesn't matter if you park at a brightly lit rest stop, because what they're going to do is when you go to the bathroom, a lot of people make a bad habit of not using the locks in their car. And if you notice, this tinted window, you can't see the back seat.
Wow.
So these serial killers that hunt and stalk Interstate 40, which the FBI believes to be well over 100, they're looking for cars just like this. And when you go inside to use that restroom break, they're already watching. They saw you pull up alone. They're going to open this back door and they're going to lay down in the back seat and they're going to wait for you to get on a desolate stretch of road away from anyone and everyone. If you guys have traveled I-40 like I have, you will know that in Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, there are giant stretches of nothingness. And that is the perfect spot for them to pop up in this back seat. Now, if I'm a woman getting back in my car, I'm sitting right here and see how dark that floor is?
Yep.
Can you see anything? Because I can't. And most people are on their phones. They're not paying attention to what they're doing. They're just going to get in this car and they're going to take off driving. Now, the FBI thinks that there could be a maximum of 500 serial killers using I-40. Now, I'm in the driver's seat right now. And this is how dark it looks. And I'm directly under a street light. You can see the shadow of my hand. Can you see anything in that back seat? No, you can't. So after 45 minutes of driving, I've been waiting for a moment just like this, for us to be in the middle of nowhere, where I know there's no cell phone service, there's no cars that are going to be coming by, and this is when I'm going to take a hold of you.
Oh, gosh.
And then now you're under my control. There is nowhere you can go. There's no one that can help you. I'm going to have you pull off of one of these countless exits on I-40 that can lead literally anywhere, and no one, I mean no one, is ever going to know what ever happened to you. Every single year, more than 25,000 women go missing and are never found. 4,400 bodies a year on average are found and are never identified. Don't be one of those statistics. Don't be one of those numbers. Be looking at all times. Keep your head on a swivel. Try not to travel Interstate 40 alone, especially overnight. And if you are going alone, make sure that you're in constant contact with somebody at every brake stop. That way, if you don't check in with them, they'll know to start looking for you right away.
Hey, make sure you listen to this, man. Is USA really this wild? Like, I thought it was only in movies.
There really are some disgusting people out there. Have you heard about the girl Gabriela Rico Jimenez?
Yeah, it's insane.
This happened in 2009, right? This girl was a 21-year-old model, and she had just gone to this party that apparently had some of the most elite people in all of the world at it. And she was at a hotel in Mexico when she just started going ballistic, apparently the day after this party. And if you watch that video, she's saying like, they're eating people. It's disgusting. They're eating people. And she keeps saying that and just going crazy, saying like, accusing these people of doing some of the most heinous things you can imagine humans doing to each other. She ends up getting arrested, and that is the last time anyone has ever heard from her at all. There is absolutely no, like, her family hasn't made a report about her missing. Why would someone just vanish like that with no signs, especially after they said something like she said in that video, right?
Yeah.
It only points toward maybe someone doing something to her, right?
Now this next video.
Oh, you have to watch this movie, Blink Twice.
What is going on here? This is the Paris Fashion Week. And this looks absolutely demonic. This is some weird stuff. Again, this is some weird stuff, but maybe this is just what fashion is nowadays. Huh?
No.
Right? Maybe that's all that this is. Again, maybe this is just what fashion is nowadays. Maybe I'm just out of touch with current fashion. Maybe. Or maybe there is something more going on here, hidden in plain sight. Almost like truth in plain sight. Again, you got to admit, this looks very bizarre. This looks very creepy, very strange. In my honest opinion, Paris Fashion Week is demonic. What do you all think about this? Because honestly, this is some very strange stuff. Wake
Agreed.
up.
They normalize the demon world.
What's that? Oh, somebody just came out talking about how when they were a child that they survived a Rothschild hunting party. What? Tell me more! Yeah, this woman just came out talking about when she was a child, she was able to survive a hunting party done by the Rothschilds. She said what happened is she was taken away as a young child and she was put in a cage underground until the hunt began. They would wait till particular days and then they would let these children out of their cages, and then they would tell them to go ahead and run and hide whilst the certain people surrounded the area, the perimeter, and then started their hunt. She said it was super dark when they let them out, and when she was able to run, she actually found a tree and scaled it up high enough to where she wasn't able to be seen. And she stayed there for quite some time until this supposed hunting party diminished. She was then climbed down from the tree and was able to leave the premises, thus surviving the incident.
You know, rich people be doing everything except help people and animals. I don't get it.
She's excited because for the first time in her life, she says she's in a human body. Those are her exact words. And honestly,
Her eyes are black.
how are we supposed to understand that? Just look at this girl. Don't you feel like she's not quite like everyone else?
Or maybe contacts.
There's something unusual about her. Her eyes look so strange. but at the same time, she seems genuinely happy. It reminds me of the kind of eyes we see all over TikTok where people call that expression the demon look. And the same thing seems to be happening here. But why would she say it's her first time being in a human body? Doesn't that sound at least a little weird? The video almost feels like proof that sometimes people give in to something we can't explain. Something strange like an entity that's not from our world. Or maybe it just looks that way. So what do you think is really going on here? Have you ever seen anything like this before? Or is it all fake? Just a way to grab attention and go viral. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious what you think.
This light being walks in my room. I said to it, I'm not interested in anything you have to say. I'm not doing any readings. Go away. And it didn't listen to me. It carried on and it walked in front of me. And then eventually I got irritated and I said, who are you? What do you want? And all I heard, and when I say I heard, it didn't speak to me like a person. I heard it in here and it said, wow, I am. And I said, you are what? And it didn't answer me. Just said, I am. I said, right, that's it, I've had enough. I stormed off to bed. I had this vision in my sleep, but I was between sleep and awake. And this light being was there again. But this time it was drawing out all of this black venom from me. It literally looked like Spider-Man. You know Venom where it's all like jittery and weird? Like that. And it came out of my chest and I woke up thinking, and then I remember waking up, I wasn't angry anymore.
Wow.
Witchcraft rage is not like just irritation. There's like a burning in your soul of pure rage all the time. But my son was downstairs on the sofa and he said, Mum, can we watch telly? I went, yeah, whatever. So I put the TV on and I just put Prince of Egypt on. Cartoon I liked as a kid, Moses of all the plagues. And I went, oh, Jake, you'll like this one. So I'm cleaning up the house. And it gets to the bit where Moses is with the bush, the burning bush. I'm not paying attention. It's in the background, you know, as your parents do, you can hear it. But, right. And then Moses is saying to the bush, who are you? And I'm still in my head thinking, and the bush said, I am. I stopped dead, Ezekiel. I was like, with my broom. And I thought, I am. That thing said, I am. And then I looked at it again. I watched it back and he said, I am what I am. Googled it. I am what I am. Jesus Christ. God. And I was like, oh, no, you are having a laugh.
And you had no idea the scripture that said that originally?
I never read the Bible. I had no previous Christian upbringing. I had no interest in the Bible. I was into witchcraft from the age of 14.
He left the 99 for you, sister.
That when I first learned about cannibalism as a child, that it came with a warning that cannibalism was dangerous, that a very dangerous disease could occur if you were a cannibal. So not only was it morally wrong, but it was physically dangerous. And I think you're going to want to stick around for this video about prion disease because of the research that I did today, which not only rewrites the mainstream narrative about prion disease, but tragically is relevant to the files. Unfortunately, I found myself wondering why these satanic ruling entities, as I will call them, aren't concerned about contracting prion disease because it's a super serious disease. And I had an immediate suspicion, but I didn't want to just go with some like brain cloud. I wanted to research this and find scientific evidence. Well, damn it, I did. Prion disease, also called Kuru, has been studied in a population that was cannibalistic, and that's where our current sort of popular narrative comes from. It's described as having an incubation period from 5 to 50 years, and you might not even know that you're infected with it, which is why these people would consume their tribe members and then get the disease because it's not like there was any sign that the person was sick. The basics of prion disease is that it gets into your brain and it basically eats holes in your brain and then you die of neurological disorder. The reason why it's associated with cannibalism is because if you eat a human prion, your body doesn't recognize it as foreign because you're human and it's a human prion, and so it's not seen as a pathogen. Cooking does not destroy prions. You can't cook it safe, okay? So even if something is perfect cooked, your digestion isn't going to kill it. Nothing's going to make you safe from it. If you put it in you, then it's in you. Once it's in your bloodstream, then it can cross the blood-brain barrier and get into your brain where it causes this quick damage. The span before you die can be something like just a few months to maybe a year or two, if I don't know, but it's quick. So this narrative kind of sounds like how you talk about a virus, right? Like there's an incubation period, someone could be sick and you wouldn't know it, and it's contagious, right? Like if you have enough contact or if you ingest someone who was sick, then now you could have it, or you do have it. But since this is all science, I wanted to understand, why aren't these satanic entities concerned about their exposure to this horrific and lethal disease? There had to be a reason. So I set out to actually understand what this prion is and what the prion disease is. And let me tell you, what I found should be explained, because it is a much different story than I was left with just from the mainstream blurb. In a separate video, I'm going to go through all the science and biology of my research. I'm not going to include that in this video, but for this video, I am just going to go for the TikTok brain people, people who have TikTok brain.
TikTok brain.
So here it is. Prions are just a protein, okay? It's a certain kind of protein. And you have them in your brain right now.
Is it bad or good?
You could get prion disease spontaneously. You don't even have to eat somebody else in order for this disease to happen to you. And in fact, it does happen, and it's documented. For example, in between 2021 and 2024, there's a region that's controlled by a certain health entity in Michigan that clocked 14 cases. Even though it doesn't happen that often, there's a study that was done in 2005 that indicates it's now happening more frequently than it used to. So the normal prions that you have, they're not bad. They don't cause the disease. What happens is when a prion mutates, and I explain this more in the explanation video, go watch it if you want the science. So if your body can't fix or remove the bad prion once it mutates, then you have the disease. Then it starts a cascade of rapid reactions where one bad prion starts to cause all of your prions. Any prion that it comes into contact with is mutated. It becomes corrupt. Now, you have a lot of prions up in your brain. They're just proteins. So it might be years, and thus this incubation period. It might be years before you actually start manifesting symptoms, right? Because a lot of prions have to be dysfunctional in order to fully kill the neuron, the brain cell. And quite a few neurons have to be dying quickly, one after the other, before you'll develop neurological symptoms. By the way, once a neuron dies, once one of your brain cells dies, it doesn't come back. The only thing your body can do is find a different path using different neurons that are still there to try to rewire that function or that part of your brain. So prion disease, it's actually just aging, the brain aging. It's a sign of low cellular energy in the brain. It's because your body's natural defenses of either repairing the prion before it mutates or cleaning up, tagging for removal and cleaning up the prion once it does mutate, those defenses don't have the cellular energy to operate. And so then it leaves this mutant prion sitting there, and any other prion that it comes into contact with will then be down, like, think of a prion like a house of cards, and then think of it like when it goes bad, the house of cards falls, and it can't do any more work as a prion protein anymore. So this is the terrible and sinister part. It's aging people, it's mature adults, it's elderly people that are lacking the cellular energy to fix or eradicate their bad prions. Bad prions or prion disease is a disease of the mature. Babies are not born with bad prions.
That's why they're eating babies.
Even if a young child were to randomly have a prion mutate, the likelihood is that the body would quickly handle that with the abundant cellular energy by either repairing it or tagging it for removal and getting rid of it and keeping that individual vital and healthy. Though if you were going to eat adults, yes, you would definitely be at risk for introducing bad prions into your system and causing that cascade where all of your prions would then assume this fallen state, dysfunctional state, and lead quickly to neurological degeneration. But these satanic entities, they're not eating adults.
Eating babies.
They're eating children. Now, like I said, if you want to understand the actual biology of prions, because it relates to all of us, really, the aging process of the brain is important for all of us to understand. And if you want to understand the biology of that and the steps that you can take to mitigate that slow dysfunction, then check out the other video that I'm going to make about the biology of it all.
You know what? My mind instantly went to Bruce Willis. No way. Come on, man. Dre? Dr. Dre? Ah, dude. Is that Photoshop? Jeez. Eazy-E told us Dre was fruity.
If it wasn't for Chelsea, that her and Bill Clinton would still be together. She's come out about Hillary Clinton and to expose the truth. Now, you have some experience with Jennifer Flowers, do you not?
Yes, I do.
Tell us about what you know about Jennifer Flowers, and then tell me why Jennifer Flowers, after having been beaten and been involved with the attempted assassination of somebody that lived in her same building, why would she come out saying that she still loves Bill Clinton?
Well, first off, Chelsea is not Bill Clinton's daughter.
What?
Chelsea Clinton is Webb Hubbell's daughter. Stick her picture on TV or wherever you want, and then stick a picture of Webb Hubbell, and you will see who's daughter. Now, to Bill's credit, and I will give him credit forever for this, he raised her as his.
Come on, man. You know what? Chelsea Clinton and Prince William got similar features.
Look at that guy. And look at those doors. The Basilica at St. Peter's and Paul's. They lying already? You damn right. This one went off a couple of months later. Oh, they filled the indentions. Thanks. They knew I was coming. You don't have to put out the good copper in China and find silverware for me. Little old me, big T, make it make sense. But you guys told me to come back. Well, look over there. Who's lurking?
Who's that?
Who's lurking? William Penn. All 37 tons, 22 feet. Look at him.
Wow.
He sees me. He sees me. I appreciate the inside tour, Mr. Penn. People loved it. But you guys said I had to come inside, and that's why I'm here. The Basilica, St. Peter's and Paul's. Let's get into it.
Let's
it make
go.
sense. Come on, man. Look at those doors. I got a size 8 head. And this thing is monstrous. The Basilica of St. Peter's and Paul's. Let's get into it. Big T, make it make sense.
always interesting and enlightening.
They did that also to Bruce Willis early on in his career. So I have heard, okay? And I'll tell you a story about a producer friend, which I said this, I'm not going to mention his name. He's a B movie producer, but he was at a very famous actress's party. I've told this before, very famous. And like it's in their house. So it's on the lawn, it's in the house, it's in, the party's going on, right? And he took one of the young actors from one of his movies to the party. Halfway through the party, he's like, where's this dude? Like, where is the dude? The guy's about my age, the producer. And he's like, where's the guy I brought to the party, right? So he goes looking around the house. He goes upstairs. He barges in a bedroom. And the agent and somebody else have a camera. The guy is drugged. This producer's actor friend is drugged on the bed in a compromising position. And they're videoing it. So this guy did not know because he was drugged. The producer that told me the story went and grabbed the guy out of the room and lost a shit ton of work because of it. Okay? Because of it. So they do that. They did that also to Bruce Willis early on in his career. So I have heard. Okay? They drug you or they distract you. So if I'm looking over here and somebody's down here on my body by my feet, doing whatever, but I'm making out with somebody over here and I'm in an orgy. Not me personally. I'm not going to do that. I'm too OCD. But anyway, like I'm too perfectionistic. I'll be like, this is not right. Wrong angle. Stop right there. Anyway, so let's say I'm over here. I'm a dude and I'm making out with 3 girlies here. And they bring a young guy in here who's 10 or 11 years old. And they have him go after the bottom half of my body.
What?
And they film it. What am I going to do? That's on fucking film. See what I'm saying? So then they say, now you're going to do what we want you to do. Now you're going to do it the way we want you to do it. And you're going to shut up and we're going to pay you. Then we're going to give you an overall deal. You're going to do 5 movies. We're going to make you a fucking billionaire. And then we're going to do something to you so you can never spend that money. Keep that in mind.
A lot of rumors go round in Hollywood. These rumors could involve actor, producers, directors, or any big name in Hollywood. Many of these hearsays haven't been substantiated or proven in any way. What rumor have you heard involving any of Hollywood's big guys? Did you believe it?
If you're anybody in Hollywood, this has happened to you.
You believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
You said
For years, there has been a long-standing conspiracy theory that Hollywood and the elites harvest the blood of young people and transfuse it in order to reverse age. And now the Epstein files might have revealed that that is in fact true.
No, they eat babies. That is not bull. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy.
I now hold the opinion that Kim Kardashian is prostitute.
What?
And I'm not going to edit this opinion. Kim Kardashian is a
What?
Her mother is a pit.
So it appears like, guys, the Kardashians are getting exposed when it comes to the Epstein files and what is going on. And yes, I have gone to the Department of Justice website personally to verify whether these things are real, and it is. There is a PDF that has just been posted via essentially a victim statement that has come forward, a victim complaint lodged in the case related to Ghislaine. And in this, the Kardashians are frequently addressed, and it's not looking well for them at all. Is this the beginning? Is this what Ray J was even talking about when it came to RICO allegations? Is this what Kanye West has been accusing the Kardashians of when he goes on his social media tirades? Are dots being linked here?
Okay, South Park had an episode on this, and we thought it was all a joke.
This is one of the most disturbing photos that I've seen in the Epstein files so far. And disturbingly, it appears that the DOJ has already removed this photograph from online. So this file was labeled EFTA 01241075. Sorry, I had to read that off my computer. But as you can see, it appears to show what look like children, teenagers potentially, in what looks to be a school. Now, I've seen some people analyze this image and they claim that this is a school in America somewhere. I mean, clearly you've got the sign in English at the top, but I couldn't find any identifiers myself that would really show where this photo was taken. However, eagle-eyed people online have pointed out the fact that there is a massive sign that says sacrifice at the top of that doorway behind these children. So, what's the point of this picture? Are these victims of Epstein's? Are these people that were in the Epstein network? Are these children that they wanted to target? Are these children that they targeted in the past? Why are they taking this photo right in front of a giant sign that says sacrifice?
Ooh.
And the sign also
I didn't
says,
even see that.
if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Which seems incredibly relevant for the Epstein ring and all of the bizarre, dark, disturbing things that they obviously are rumored to have been into. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to these kids. We don't know their identities. We don't even know where this photo was taken. But this is just another reason why they should be continuing these investigations into those named in the Epstein files, because this is not okay. What happened to these kids? Why are they in these photo albums mixed with hardcore pornography and other horrific visuals? I don't know, but hopefully we'll get an answer sometime soon.
Oprah School. Where are they now?
Place is gigantic. This is gigantic. It's called like Vienna Yellow Marble or something. It all came from Italy, I think.
2nd Massachusetts Infantry. Look at the size of this one.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, look at that line compared to Rob.
Yeah.
I mean, look how big that thing is. And look at the columns
Man.
over here. Look at this. Absolutely wild, y'all. In honor of the 20th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry. So that's the 2nd and the 20th. So 2-2. 2-2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, you said Bates is a big name. That says Bates Hall, bro.
I know. You see that?
Bates Hall. LJ, what's up? LJ. We are in a library, so I gotta tone down the lamps a little bit.
You wild man.
They also have a bar in this library.
They have a bar?
Yeah, it's like a.
So it must have been a Mason Lodge?
It's like a city.
This was a temple. There's no doubt about
It's
it.
called Vienna Marble or something like that. It's.
I mean, those are huge. I mean, that down there where that deity would have stood, that was like 7.5.
Do you want to check out what I affectionately deemed Satan's Corner?
Satan's
Over there?
Corner?
Yeah. Check this out.
Whoa, bro. Whoa.
What's that?
Yeah, there's one face here.
Wow, man. Cool place. Thanks for sharing.
This man right here was the victim of one of the darkest and scariest black magic uses ever. It all started in 1991 where this man right here, whose name was Christopher Case, met a woman in San Francisco. Now, from Christopher's point of view, this was a normal meeting, okay? Him and the woman were just friends, but from the other side, the woman's point of view, well, it was different. See, the woman he was meeting was completely in love with him, okay? She even tried to raise him multiple times, going like, you know, this Loki could be us. The problem is, this man, Christopher, is not interested at all. Each time she tried to flirt with him, he go like, you. Yeah, they were clearly not seeing things in the same perspective. She tried to give him multiple hints, and Christopher would go like, yeah, no, I'm good. This thing happened multiple times until the woman realized that he is not in love with her and he'll never be. And when she learned that, she got mad. I mean, really mad. And this is where everything will change. Because after a while, the woman spoke again, and this time she admitted that she was a witch and that she placed the curse on him. Yes, out of nowhere, she said that, and she even precised that the curse that she placed on him is so strong to the point where he will not even survive until the end of the month. After that, she admitted that she was a witch and that she had placed a curse on him. Christopher's reaction was like, do 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 do. Obviously, he did not believe her. She was talking seriously about a serious topic, but he was just there trolling. After a while, Christopher's friends began to notice that Christopher is not going outside like he used to, and now he's always staying inside his house. Literally became a prisoner in his own home, surrounded him and his bed by salts, kept burning candles, and always had the lights turned off. Even told his friends that he keeps seeing entities and they are trying to attack him. He also precised that these entities he keeps seeing always try to attack him at night when he's sleeping. Okay, now some of you might be like, okay bro, he's just imagining stuff, he's being paranoid. Well no, the problem is Christopher really had injuries everywhere, and according to him, these are the entities attacking him. He stayed like this for a long time, living in the dark, alone, lighting candles, putting salt everywhere. He was convinced that all of this was because of the woman who placed the curse on him. After a while, and precisely on April 18, police finally came to check his house after what they heard, and sadly, they found him unalive. They found him inside his bathtub, kneeling like he was doing a ritual. Bathtub didn't have water, it was just his body, and he was full of injuries. After the autopsy, it turned out that Christopher had no signs of poisonous, no signs of alcohol, and no signs of trauma, meaning that the man was completely fine and he was not under anything. Oh, this is why some people believe that the woman he met was really a witch and she really did use black magic on him. Other people don't agree with that. They say that he believed what she said, so it got him scared and he terrified him.
That's why you need to cover yourself with blood of Jesus.
A thing that keeps me up at night is the stalking case of Miranda Cosgrove. Have you heard about that?
No, what happened?
Oh my gosh, bro. So
My
in
God,
2016, this guy had been stalking Miranda Cosgrove, and it was reported that CCTV footage showed him walking around her house for like months on end, okay? And for 3 days straight, he was seen on CCTV footage burying weapons in her backyard. He buried a knife, and they seen rope and a lunchbox. On the day of the incident, he was seen walking around her house for hours, just pacing back and forth across the same spot. He then eventually opened fire on a woman that looked like Miranda. He thought it was her.
No way.
He then would set himself on fire in her front yard, turn the gun on himself, and take his own life, because I believe that he thought that he had killed Miranda Cosgrove, right? Well, Miranda...
He killed the wrong person?
Cosgrove was not home, and she would return home and see her house as a crime scene, right? Because not only did this man end his life, but he set himself on fire.
And he shot an innocent woman.
And he didn't shoot her, but he shot at her.
Oh, he shot at her?
But the crazy thing is, this was not even the first time that she had dealt with something like this. She has been super vocal about how traumatic of an experience that this was for her, and she says she still lives in that same house today, but she absolutely refuses to be home alone.
This is the plot of the movie The Fanatic on Netflix.
Those that attract troublemakers should never be worn. Clothing printed with the face of the deceased should not be worn because the yin energy is too heavy. Third, clothing printed with aggressive animals should not be worn as it stirs conflict and restlessness. Fourth, clothes that expose the navel should not be worn as they leak your
Listen to that, ladies.
core energy. Fifth, clothing printed with words you cannot understand should not be worn because you do not know what energy you are carrying. Sixth, clothes full of holes should not be
Balenciaga.
worn as they symbolize broken fortune and unstable energy. 7. Clothes that have not been worn for many years must be aired in sunlight before wearing to awaken and cleanse their energy. Share this with someone you care about and protect her energy.
So why China exports so many these types of clothes for sale to others?
How do you make it in the industry? Well, we have rock star Ronnie James Dio right here telling a story about how he summoned Baal or Baal, and then how the demon physically manifested around them and changed things in the room. They all do it.
Well, I think the most memorable thing about that album is all the occult things that we went through, because we went through a severe phase of contacting a spirit that was the most scary thing I think any of us have ever been through. We'd always dabbled before. Certainly Richie did and I did, which is one of our points of conjecture, connection, I think. And we rose a spirit named Baal. So not to go into the whole thing, Baal was this really evil spirit whose name is on the album, on the Long and Rock Roll album. It says thanks to so on, thanks, like no thanks to Baal, who was really chaotic in, stopping this album. I mean, the tape machines would just suddenly stop on their own. Doors that were locked that had only one key to one person whom we trusted would go up there and things would be playing. And it just never ended. And it was the whole progression of that. Toward the very end, my manager, Wendy, and my wife, Wendy Dio, got pushed down the stairs and accused me of it. I was walking down the stairs. Cozy was behind me. She was probably 5 or 6 stairs ahead of me.
Come on, man. You push her down the stairs, you blame Ball, right? No, but really, they all do this. And you think it's only rock stars like Jimmy Page summoning demons, having them at the foot of his bed, buying Aleister Crowley's house where all these rituals are done? Juice WRLD, ASAP Rocky, they all showed you they were summoning demons. But yeah, keep thinking it's a joke. Let me know in the comments, who are some artists these days that actually aren't saying
This stuff is so real. If there is evil, then there is good. Christ is king.
Okay, get ready for this because this is going to be a long one.
Uh-oh.
Ariana Grande is another victim of Hollywood. I'm going to show
I
a
like her
series
hair.
of videos and give you my interpretation and analysis of their energy. It's all about reading their energy, okay? She's another star where that's definitely not the real Ariana Grande. I believe she's either been cloned or they did the memory erasure, which is a video that I'm going to show, and a new consciousness has taken over her body. I think that's the truth.
The next step is the next step.
It does look weird.
It means it must come out. You know, it's been.
You have a release date.
You know what?
What's going on?
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure. You know,
He's
the
like-
memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little.
He's like, the what? And then you can see he pulls the microphone away from her, almost as if
Foggy,
someone's in his ear.
If you could remember,
He keeps diverting the conversation back to when
Struggle.
the album's going to be
tell me.
released.
Give me a date.
And she's annoyed here.
You know what? I'll have to go back to the clinic and see if they can restore my
What's going on here?
She's like, fuck you. I just told you about memory erasure and you're still asking me about this. I'm going to bring it up again. Okay?
Because the fans want to know, all right?
Did you see her face right there? She's like, come on, dude.
Because the fans
Come
want
on,
to know.
bro.
all right?
So soon. So, Mark, you have to learn the language of my fans because soon means 10 days or less. I'm not allowed to use that word at this moment.
So it's not less than 10 days.
I'm not going to use that word today. I'll say that. I love you. You're so naughty. What are you doing?
She's trying to get out of there as soon as
Because
possible.
we want new music. So just give me a date. Give me a date.
Look at her hand. Watch her hand on her shoulder. She's like, don't touch me.
I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone.
You know, just keep your eyes.
Another topic that's been swirling social media is her relationship to Cynthia and Revo,
Yep.
which we can all agree that is bizarre. The way they act around each other is bizarre. Here's another video.
Because we're in it together. Yeah.
Watch
and
her
really
energy.
take care of each other.
There's her handle.
On screen and off screen, and just kind of have a really truthful friendship and a beautiful sistership that
Now, right here, it looks like Cynthia's
continues to grow
plotting
and grow
something
even through this
in her
rest tour.
energy.
Something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know.
sorry.
She's getting the fixing itch that Cynthia Erivo gets.
It's not there.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Ariana is visibly uncomfortable and annoyed right here.
Biggest pinch me moment for each of you on the set. Was it the day you arrived on the set or
Watch Ariana's face throughout all of this and her energy. She is extremely uncomfortable. Okay.
some special moment that happened during the filming of this for each of you? What was the biggest pinch me moment for each?
She's like, man, don't touch me.
And then she looks at Cynthia like, can you fucking stop, please?
This pinch me moment. Every day.
Another piece of evidence that I want to point out, Ariana Grande's album came out in 2024. The cover art of the album has 2 heads, 2 ponytails. I think that's a hint, a clue that there's 2 of them, or she's been cloned, okay? Also, the first 2 songs of the album are End of the World and Bye. I don't think it could be any clearer. And finally, I talk about energy and aura, and it doesn't just change overnight. Watch this last video and tell me that's the same person, because it's not. There's no way.
I'm like, bitch, that's my cookie. That's my juice, okay? Carry on. Thank you, next.
She doesn't even talk like that anymore.
Yep.
Kill me, get your ass in here.
Her vibe is
This
night
is the
and
Mac
day.
I'm here to talk about today, girl.
Come on.
You know how people say, like, oh, she thirsty. You know what I mean? I think it's so funny if you be like, nah, bitch, I'm quenched. Hey, girl, hey. Buy my fragrance. Holy, that's what it sounds. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm sorry. Okay. That's okay.
That's not the same
Ariana, we
person.
got you. We got you. 2 seconds, right? Oh my God. I do want to.
It's all just so incredibly sad to think about. And We have no clue what they've been through. That's all
That's
I want
right.
to say.
You know what? They got Selena Gomez also. Ain't no way that that's the same Selena today. No way.
Did you guys hear it's raining in Iran right now? But the crazy part is, it's not raining water. You see, yesterday, oil depots and oil processing facilities were struck, and so they caught fire. And now, this is this morning in Tehran, which has 10 million people in it, and it's raining like black, oily, I guess not all of the oil combusted because it's in the sky and falling all over the city. Now, before you ask, like, whose side are we on here? My thing is, there are innocents in these cities that have nothing to do with what's going on geopolitically. Anyway, many people are worried that this is going to turn into a type of certain, like a conflict on a grander scale. I hope it all completely simmers down and we get back to the basics, which is maybe ensuring a clean air, food, and water supply for the entire world, and also get rid of some of the corruption that's going on, if not all of it, please, now.
Yep.
This young kid hears the voice of a demon during a ritual practice done on Big Boy's radio station. Let me show you this.
What was the experience that you had?
There's like this low voice who kept saying like the rappers. Can I say the name or not?
For the record, there's no way that he could know.
You got the name.
I got the name.
Okay.
What name do you think he thought of? I read Big's mind. You're going to read his mind. What name do you think it is?
Snoop Dogg.
What? Who?
Is he right?
He's right. He's absolutely right. Wow. 1000% right. No bullshit. Car said Snoop on it.
Oh my God.
And you could hear that. Excuse my language too, little man. My bad.
I swear to God, there's like a voice like telling me, saying the rapper's name.
It's
Snoop Dogg.
It said the rapper's name.
Is Snoop Dogg.
Yo,
Like,
this
said
is.
it. I swear.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, we should keep going.
So as we were watching that, many people missed it, but I want you to pay attention because as you're going to see, the demon was speaking to this psychic and also reading the mind of this boy at the same time. Let me show you this.
Said Snoop on it.
Oh my God.
And you could hear that. Excuse my language too, little man. My
I
bad.
swear to God, there's like a voice like telling me, saying the rapper's name.
It's-
Is Snoop Dogg.
It said the rapper's name.
Did y'all see his mouth moving? Did you see how he was reading the boy's words through his mouth as he was saying it? And many people still don't believe that this stuff is real, but I tell y'all all the time, you got to be careful about what you watch. Be careful about who you entertain and the things that you do. The Bible specifically tells us to stay away from these kind of things in Deuteronomy 18. Okay. This is crazy, but this right here is showing you that this stuff is real. Even people that did not believe in God in his comment section talked about how this was extremely spooky and it made no sense. This stuff is real, y'all.
It's real, folks. Oh, by the way, if you want to send me videos, you can send it to my Instagram at BroSkyRay. Okay, the link is in the description below.
This girl forced $1 billion soda empire to pay her millions for exactly 11 seconds of work. It's late 2025, Washington. A 25-year-old sits in her bedroom with nothing but a smartphone. She records a raw, homemade song about her favorite soda and decides to make a demand. She tags the brand. In the caption, she writes, "Cut the check. Let's make millions." It sounds like a joke. The internet doesn't treat it like one. In days, those 11 seconds hit 80 million views. The comment section turns into pressure. Meanwhile, the brand has a polished, multi-million-dollar commercial ready for the biggest game of the year. But the culture doesn't want actors. It wants her voice. The corporate giants panic. They realize they don't control the culture anymore. She does. So they do the unthinkable. They scrap their multi-million-dollar campaign, call the girl from the bedroom, and buy the rights to that raw, unedited phone recording. On game day, 30 million people stare at their TVs and hear a girl from a bedroom echoing across national television. She didn't just hijack the industry, she walked away with a massive bag. The soda empire that folded was Dr. Pepper, and the girl they paid millions to was TikToker Romeo Bingham.
You go, girl.
We have to talk about the movie Weapons because I watched it the other day and there is so much truth in plain sight. The entire time I was like, I eventually want to do an entire walkthrough of this film because the whole thing just felt insane to me. But I just want to point out a few of the parts that had me like, oh my gosh. So in the movie, a lot of it is based in like a school setting. And there's a principal and he's gay and married to a man. we get a glimpse of his home life. It shows him and his husband cooking and about to sit down with a plate that had 7 hot dogs on it. And if you know your Bible stuff, pork is forbidden. It is not food. It never was. Pigs are designed to be cleaners. Jesus cast demons into a herd of pigs. I'm a firm believer that demons are parasites, or at minimum, parasites are demonic entities of some kind. So they show them sitting down with a whole bunch of hot dogs. The very next thing the camera pans to is the television showing an ant, and it's being overtaken by a parasite and eaten from the inside out. I've had countless people tell me that they thought they were gay before doing the parasite cleanse, and then when they did the parasite cleanse, they were straight. So then after it shows the ant being eaten by a parasite, there's a knock on the door, and it's no other than our main character, the Whore of Babylon. That is 100% who this is supposed to be. She has the red hair. When she doesn't have the wig on, if you see the movie, she looks exactly like Mel Gibson's version of Satan in Passion of the Christ. I believe that the harlot is Satan. So they're eating the hot dogs, the doorbell rings, they get up to get it. It's her, she asks to come in. So the principal at the school had had a prior run-in with this character. She had made an appointment to talk about her nephew. And as I'm watching this, I'm looking at the ribbons next to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, those are the Northern Lights colors. And in the Bible, it sometimes refers to the lights as banners. So I'm like, okay, ribbons of light. Well, it turns out she had stolen the ribbons, and I guess the principal didn't notice at the time that they were gone, but she took them with her. So when she knocks at the door, she asks to come in, and things are like semi-normal at first, and then she snips like pieces of each of their hair and like does this ritual thing and wraps the ribbons that she stole with their hair and like a stick and did some kind of ritual. And when she did the ritual, they turned demonic. They turned into like super soldiers, like the Black Awakening, because they had parasites. Basically, she was able to control almost anybody that she wanted to. There were very few people that were not like under her spells. And big spoiler alert, one of the big things that this movie is about is that all of these kids went missing. Well, the big thing that she would do is do this to children and make them fly to her. So they would like run super, super fast with their arms out and go wherever she was. And she hid all of these children like in her basement, which is wild because that's exactly what Pennywise the Clown does. He hides the children like underground and has them like in a trance. But this had me absolutely gagged because I grew up in a Catholic church and I started to have like flashbacks of the different prayers that were standard in the church. And I have gone super in depth about how I believe that the harlot masquerades as Mary, the mother of Jesus. It's not actually Mary, it's Satan. We are not saying anything about Jesus's actual mother that was here on earth, but I'm pointing out that this is definitely a dark entity who I believe to be Satan or Babylon herself. So one of the big things in the prayers to Mary is that you fly to her. And I remember multiple pictures in my church and in my catechism materials where it was specifically small children that flew to Mary. This movie was absolutely crazy to me. I think I need to watch it a second time with like a notepad and note down every weird thing. Drop it in the comments if you guys have other movies that have a ton of truth in plain sight. I need some new ones.
I could not bring myself to watch it. Hey, but she connect the dots like a boss.